So it's been a little bit of time now since this rumor was kind of hot, and I decided to wait a little bit and talk about it. Essentially, a big old thing came out there that Wolverine is going to get ruined in the MCU because he can't smoke. And that's apparently the core of his character. Now, in case some of you don't know, smoking in a lot of media has kind of been on the hush, right? They don't want to highlight it. Now, there are a certain amount of exceptions, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but essentially smoking, we know now better than ever before, can lead to, lung cancer and various other things, and they don't want to encourage kids that smoking is cool, so they don't want characters smoking. Now, at the same time, Disney's, of course, getting, Fox, they're going to have Wolverine coming out, so this big rumor hit, and it's not a rumor, it's kind of a confirmation, that Wolverine will not be able to smoke in the MCU. Because nobody does. And this is one of those things where I have to take kind of a backseat and kind of explain this to you guys. Wolverine in the comics stopped smoking in around 2002. By 2003, pretty much everybody, they're like, no more smoking, we don't want to highlight this. In the movies, it took a little bit more time, but they kind of put the same thing on there. Now, there are exceptions, though, because what has been defined as smoking in modern day can actually happen in previous scenes if you do historic smoking. And this is something that's very important. If you're portraying a certain time period, like let's say they show Logan in the 40s, right? During World War II. If he has a cigar, that's allowed because that's historic. Historically, that's what a lot of soldiers were doing. So that would be 100% okay. If they show him in Vietnam, he's smoking, that's okay. Because it's historic, it's significant. But now we live in a time and age, where if you go to a bar, smoking's not allowed in a lot of places, in the United States especially. So you can't have them sitting at a bar smoking because, one, that's illegal too, and they don't want to show that. Two, it's a whole film-wide, industry-wide law that's been passed, right? So that's why you see certain shows, like you had, for example, Mad Men, where they could smoke all they want. Because that's a historic show, right? It's portraying a certain time period and a certain thing. Wolverine could smoke during First Class and have a cigar because that's historic. It was in the 60s. Same with 70s. So if they go that route, they can show smoking all they want. But at the same time, people have to realize they're going, oh, they've never smoked, they never drank in the MCU. It's like, Tony literally drank multiple times. Ross was sitting in a bar drinking and smoking. So it's kind of nonsense, but you have to realize all studios have to abide by a law. So will he smoke in the MCU? Depends on how they portray his character. But does it ruin his character because he can't smoke? I mean, he has one of the most iconic comic suits in history of comics, and he's never worn it in the movie. So let's debate that instead, right?